Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to take a look at we're gonna do a little run through of the Buyee add to Buyee extension. You can get it for Chrome. I use it for Chrome, but I believe you can get it for other browsers as well. Definitely Firefox. But here it is. This is the tutorial. You didn't know that you even needed. Actually, I've had a couple people ask me how to use it. How do I buy on these websites? Rattle, I need some modern Japanese Pokemon cards. I don't know where to get them. How do I finish my sets without, searching all over, high and low? Well, I am here to recommend YUYU-TEI. It is by far my favorite site in terms of like modern trading card games from Japan. It is an awesome sauce. Not sponsored by YUYU-TEI, but I have worked with Buyee. I continue to work with Buyee. I've used Buyee long before they ever wanted to work with the channel here, but I'm here to recommend them. YUYU-TEI is getting a free pass here because, man, it's incredible. I have not once received the wrong card. I have not once received a card with even the slightest of slight damage on it. They have a whole section. We'll get into that in a minute here. But essentially, you can expect everything to show up. I mean, Japanese print quality is top notch. But also, and at the same time, the fact that everything that they're sending me is like the mintiest of the mint. No wear or tear. Everything's individually sleeved. Just spectacular. Every time. I've ordered thousands of cards from them. They've all shown up absolutely stellar, amazing. So you can see here on the main page of the YUYU-TEI. And maybe we'll make this into a little bit of a series if you guys like this video, where I show you some awesome places to shop in Japan, how to do so. We got pretty much everything you could ever dream of, ever ask for. You're going to want to, if you're a Pokemon fan, you're going to want to click this bad boy right here. That is the old Pokemon button. Yes, might be a little bit hard to read if you don't know the old Japanese, but here you have it. And if you're doing Japanese sets, modern sets, if you don't feel like opening booster boxes, or maybe you only want to open a couple boxes and then finish off your set, Japanese sets are pretty small, so it's pretty easy to do so. My apologies if you're missing some of the expensive cards, but it's probably still a lot less expensive to go ahead and buy the singles. So we'll get into that in a second. This is also where I source a lot of my Zillions of Enemy X little side collection. Yes, it's filled with the dirty waifu cards. Those robots, dragons, and waifus. So if you're interested in that, I do have some videos on the channel here. Give that a gander. But there's a bunch of other card games on there as well. So Buyee, probably no stranger to Buyee. If you're buying stuff from Japan, if you're collecting Japanese card games, or if you want to get into it, maybe you want certain cards, maybe you want the exclusive stuff, you're going to want to use Buyee. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. There is a little bit of a, you gotta dive in, you gotta try it out. You gotta be a little bit careful with what you're doing. If you have coupons, you do need to go get your coupons. You need to activate your coupons before you're shopping. But we'll get into that as it comes up. And more importantly, if you're not shopping on your Yahoo Japan, your Mercari, your Rakuten, your Yahoo flea market, and all this stuff that's up at the top here, you can use the site. You can shop straight through there. But if you want to go beyond that, you can use the Buyee, the Add to Buyee extension that we're going to be taking a look at today. This little bad boy right here, that is a wicked tool, and we're going to show you how to use that today. Now, if for some reason the Add to Buyee does not work on whatever website, whatever deep depths of the internet you're trying to buy from, there is this purchase request for other sites that you can do. If you really need something from elsewhere, you can go ahead and do so. I guess as a little bit of a precursor to what we're doing today, if you're not familiar with what Buyee is, it's basically a forwarding service. So you can buy stuff in Japan that you otherwise wouldn't be able to, that wouldn't ship outside of Japan. You ship it to them. They can combine it into one handy dandy package if you request for them to do so, and then they send it off to you. So I'm gonna go through basically the entire process here of what I would do to place my order, and hopefully it's helpful for you guys. There's a lot of stuff that it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky, so we're gonna go through it. Mandatory Linktree plug. We got to plug the Linktree here real quick. The Linktree is super handy, and thank you guys for using it. You can click on a lot of stuff before you shop in order to support the channel here. It goes a long way because we cover a lot of scammers, and you know damn well they're going to false flag the videos. Plus, we like to use some coarse language every now and then, because who doesn't? And if you take a gander here, there's some awesome coupon codes. We got a couple bangers right here. So basically you can choose between, if you want to try Buyee out, if you haven't made an account yet, you can get 10% off your first purchase, or 2,000 yen off your first purchase, which is pretty sick. That's pretty awesome. Nice little discount for you. Congratulations. All right, it's shopping time. Example of shopping time. We're going to pretend that we're completing Paradise Dragona. We're going to go in and look for some singles. Maybe we didn't open any product. Maybe we suck and we didn't open the most important stuff. Or maybe we opened a ton of it and we didn't get everything. So we need some individual singles to complete the set. And this is where it's going to shine. You can see here our Buyee extension is ready to go. It's ready, locked and loaded. It's telling us, hey, you can shop on this website. Fill me up. Fill my card up for me, please. So we're going to go in here. We're in the Pokemon zone. We're going to go to a single card sales. And you can see here there's a great deals. So this is like damaged goods. I don't know how damaged they are. I can't imagine they're very damaged. If it's a brand new set, there might be just kind of defected ding or something like that. Something small. Haven't tried it. If anyone tries it, do let me know. But we're going to go into the regular category here where everything I've ever received from there has been mint to the extreme. And here we go. What do we got here? We got latest bullet expansion packs. Let's go expansion packs. As you can see here, we're going to be scrolling for days. If we go through that, it's Pokemon. There's expansions all the time, every time, even more in Japanese than there are in English. But we're going to go into Paradise Dragona. We're going to hit it up. We're going to take a look here. Now, some important little things. We are not adding to cart on the website itself. We want Buyee to buy these for us and receive them at their warehouse so that we can purchase them. If you were in Japan, you would add to cart on the actual website itself, but that's where Buyee comes in. They buy for you because you can't buy because you're not inside Japan. I know. It upsets a lot of people, but that's the way it is. We have the stock here, and there are circles. The circle does not mean that there are 0 in stock. The circle means that it's plentiful. It's O for plentiful. I get it. The O is silent. I don't understand why exactly they put that and don't put an actual number. Who knows? Whoopsie doopsie. Regardless, that just means that there's an absolute buttload. Now, we scroll down here. You can see here, some of them show the actual number of items. I believe if it's like 10 items or less, it might show, I don't know what the maximum number is, but regardless, it'll show how many items are in stock. And if an item is not in stock, it'll give you an X. It won't show 0. It'll give you an X, and the add to cart will not be lit up. So what we're going to want to do here on this website, or I guess most of the websites that you're going to be using this Buyee extension on, is you're going to want to open these bad boys a new tab. So once you open a new tab, you're going to be on the item itself, and this is where we can add it to our Buyee cart. So we're going to give our extension up in the top a little clickerini, and then we can add to cart. Whoop-de-doo, it is in the cart. Sick nasty. Now, it is important to note that you can only put 50 items in the cart at a time. So if you wanted to order 100 cards, you got to place 2 separate orders, but not a big deal. You go in, place your first order, then you continue adding to your cart. Your cart will fill up. 50 is the limit. So plan accordingly. Now, let's just go through here. We're going to add each individual one, add item to the cart. These are all in stock. Sick nasty. We're adding them to the cart. And some of the stuff you might want to wait on. If it's brand new, it might be a little bit more expensive. I mean, plan accordingly, depending on what you're going for, what you're looking for, and price it out. But in terms of, there's a ton of like the inexpensive stuff, a lot of inventory on the inexpensive stuff, that it might be worth grabbing a lot of that, but maybe not the chase cards, maybe waiting on the chase cards, or maybe if you can find the chase card somewhere else, do what you got to do. Price it out, plan ahead, and get it. I mean, opening product is typically not the best way to go. Japanese, you basically get 1 full art or better, secret SR per box, so it can take quite a few packs to get everything, and especially stuff like this. The Licia, you know damn well those waifus in Japanese, they are pricey. 34,800 yen. It's a good thing we got the coupon, the Rattle coupon for signing up. And we will get that. All right, let's go take a look at our cart. Now, everything links back to the Buyee website, but if you got the extension here, you can do the old clickerino on the cart itself. Whoop, click that bad boy. It's going to load us in one day or another. We're going to see in our cart here, we got 8 items, 8 juicy items, and it's all the chase cards that we just added to our cart from that old Paradise Dragona. Sick nasty. Before we do anything here, before we place our order, we're going to want to go to our coupons. So we can open that in a new tab, or we can just kind of click on it and navigate back. And we can see here that we can get some deals. So you might want to go in here if you don't have that first time use coupon that you get from the link tree or from down below in the description. You can go in here to see if there's any sick, nasty deals. Depending on the shop, it's going to be shop specific, but sometimes you can find some like Rakuma here, 10% off, item price 5% off. Pretty cool, nice little deals that end up in there. Sometimes they come up, sometimes they don't come up, but it's always a good idea to check beforehand. You do need to activate that coupon beforehand, or it's not going to show up for us in the card itself. So we're gonna kind of we're gonna peruse. We're gonna take a look at that feature here in a second. But now that we're good, now that we activated any coupons that we need to activate, we're gonna give it a little scroll down. We're gonna proceed to order page. We got a big old bill, so it shows here in yen and Canadian dollars what we're paying, what we're getting. Remember when the USD was a closer conversion with lopping off 2 digits than Canadian dollars. So times have changed. Times have changed. Now we got to proceed to order page. And it's going to show us our items. It's going to show us our quantities. It's going to check our order status. We want to check our order. We want to purchase available items. So this is essentially if you want to, if there's one of these items that go out of stock before they can purchase them, if you still want them to purchase the rest, or if whatever shop is like, oh, we didn't have that item, we thought we did, if they had some kind of inventory error or something, if they can't purchase all the items, they'll purchase the rest of them, is what purchase available items means. Plan fees here, we can go standard plan. So with shops like this, you really don't, at least I don't worry. I'm not too concerned with them checking. So this is a lot to do with if you want insured delivery inspection. I always just go with the light plan here, especially if I'm purchasing from YUYU-TEI, if I'm purchasing from the Pokemon Center. If I'm going from somewhere super reputable, I'm not going to bother with this. So the inspection that's involved here, it doesn't mean that they're going to know what a counterfeit Pokemon card looks like. So if you're buying from somewhere that's sketchy, more like a garage sale type thing, your Yahoo Japan or whatever it may be, they're going to check to make sure the contents match the listing, but they're not going to be like Pokemon experts that can tell you if there's counterfeit cards or anything that are in there. So just keep that in mind. There is a certain amount of risk when you're buying from sketchy places, and you got to assume that risk. So we're going to go through here. Pretty cool. You set up you can either use PayPal, credit card, whatever you set up, Alipay. I don't know if that's available everywhere, but there you have it. Pretty sick. Now that's all there is to it. We submit the order right up here. Give it an old submitterino. Next, what do you do once you place your orders? If you go into the My Buyee page, you'll see there's a little tab, a little selection for shopping here, and in under, it's the same place that you can go look at your cart. You hit the orders tab on the top here, and you'll be able to see the progress on your stuff, when it's arriving, if it's arriving, what's going on with it. This is essentially when Buyee receives your order, when the order is completed by Buyee, when it's shipped by YUYU-TEI or whoever else you're buying from, and then when it arrives at the warehouse itself. So see, this is a previous order here for a bunch of Pokemon cards, all of these from YUYU-TEI. We'll take a look at those in the future, but essentially that's pretty much all you need to know. Other than when this stuff arrives, if you have multiple orders, it gets a little bit more complicated. You'll be able to combine these into one. It says consolidation. Do not combine them. Make sure everything arrives first, or you'll have to do the process multiple times, and there's a small charge for them to do it. Now, it'll also ask you for protective packaging, rather. It'll ask you for protective packaging. Do you want protective packaging? With the trading cards, at least from YUYU-TEI, you don't need it. I don't think you need it. If you really want to add it, you can add it. But essentially, YUYU-TEI is going to ship these things to Buyee in a method that is pretty protective of the cards themselves. They do a pretty good job. It's pretty well done. It's well packaged. It's well put together. The cards are in good shape. And essentially when you consolidate these packages, let's say you have 2 or 3 orders of 50 cards that you put in your cart from YUYU-TEI. Buyee, essentially, when you press that consolidation button, is going to say, whoop-de-doo, we're going to stick them in a box all together. They're going to add a little bit of like protective packaging to make sure it doesn't like flop around in whatever the larger box looks like, depending on how many orders it's combined into. They do a pretty good job. So If you were buying something that's a lot more fragile, that isn't packaged very well from the original supplier, that's probably an option you want to look into, but I haven't ever seen it be a necessity in terms of trading cards. At least they're all pretty packaged. They're packaged well to be shipped to Buyee, and Buyee's not going to take them out of that packaging and throw that packaging out and make it worse packaging, if that makes any sense. Now, this is on the orders tab. Then we can get into the old storage. So you'll be able to see what is in storage. You'll be able to see what is delivered. So essentially what you're looking at here is the screen after you place your order. Again, make sure you have everything there. Double check that you have everything, that it's all arrived before you start consolidating your package and before you ship it out. And before you consolidate, before you do any of that, make sure your shipping address is correct. There'll be a little prompt that kind of warns you before you consolidate the package, to make sure that you select the appropriate shipping address. I was pleasantly surprised that there was a nice option for FedEx that was just as fast as the fastest options that they have, the like airmail and whatnot, and it was significantly cheaper. So that was pretty cool. So this is basically it. That's what you're looking for. Be aware that if you live somewhere with import fees and or duty and or customs and or whatever it might be, bringing stuff into your country, you got to take that into consideration with the price itself. So you might think you're getting an awesome deal, but you might have to pay taxes for stuff that's coming in. If you're in the U.S., you are a little bit blessed in the fact that there is not very much of that stuff. But yeah, if there's any questions, do let me know. I'm happy to answer them. And if you want to walk through, I've always kind of offered, if people join the Discord, if you're in the Saturday happy hour chats, if you're kind of a little bit nervous or that's a little bit overwhelming, I can walk you through your first time going through, answer any questions that you might have. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. It's pretty awesome. And there's a lot of stuff that you can pick up a lot easier on these Japanese websites than you can if you're struggling to pick up the stuff that you're maybe missing for your collection, if you're doing sets or anything like that, or if you just want specific cards. Or it's fun. It's addicting though. Be careful. Very addicting. Very awesome tool, and something that I think any Pokemon collector, even if you just dabble in collecting Japanese trading cards, I think this website is an absolute clutch item. Or maybe you want to get into something and it's just a little bit difficult to find that stuff around here. The Zillion stuff, there's no friggin' way I'd be able to pick up enough of the Zillion stuff to do the binder sets that I'm aiming to do without a nice website like YUYU-TEI here. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully it was helpful for someone out there. I know we did basically just the Pokemon example, but same process for anything that's shown on the screen here. Highly recommend. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Little double upload today. Have a good one. Join the Discord. Bye.